Dr. Eric Janowitz, the clinic director and founder here at Synergy Oviedo Chiropractic. We get a lot of questions about what is a laminectomy. So a laminectomy is a surgical procedure that is designed to take pressure off of the nerves, potentially in your back or in your neck. Now, I get why people do it. Your people are at their wits' end. When you have pain associated with a disc problem or stenosis, it can be very severe, and you're talking about pain scales that are upwards of an 8 or a 9 or a 10 out of 10, and it really limits life. So people are going to these procedures in a way to get their life back. The thing I want to encourage you to do is always try to do conservative measures first. And just thinking that you did physical therapy or just chiropractic or acupuncture alone and in isolation, in my impression, when you're confronted with the possibility of having a laminectomy procedure, is not enough. You want to find a synergistic approach that can combine things like spinal decompression, chiropractic, and physical therapy, ideally in one roof, so everybody knows what everybody is doing. And that's the model that we do here at Synergy. But let me go into what a laminectomy is. So the first thing you want to do is understand a little bit of the anatomy of the spine. So this is a lumbar spine anatomy where you have a bone, a vertebra, and then you have the disc. You have the orange, which is the spinal cord going down, and then the exiting nerve roots that are coming out over here. Now, this is the vertebral body. This is the spinous process, and these are the bumps that you can feel on the base of your neck, on the going down to your neck, or even in your lower back. Now, in between those areas, this is called the lamina. This is the lamina area of the spine. Now, what occurs is through different traumas over time, either through a car accident or repetitive stresses, then we get abnormal stress to the structures here, and then they can cause things like a disc herniation, where the disc can actually herniate through, and this is called a central disc herniation, or it can go out, which this is a lateral disc herniation, and then that can cause pressure to the exiting nerve roots. So this is a game of crowded spaces. So if you look here, now that nerve is being compressed by the disc coming into this area, arthritis in this area, and maybe a narrowed canal, also called stenosis. So you can have IVF stenosis or spinal stenosis coming down. Well, there's a couple of ways to solve this problem. The natural way that we do is by making sure the alignment is good and doing things like decompression to make the space bigger, make that hole bigger. But another way that they do it from a surgical standpoint is they actually cut the lamina. So they actually cut on one area here and remove that bone. And what that does is it makes more space for that nerve tissue. So think about having basically like a crowded room, you got more family members, and you blow out a wall and you make more room in that area. Well, that's what a laminectomy is doing, is it's opening up the space by removing that bone, removing that wall, and expanding into that area. So now those nerve tissue has more room to go around the disc herniation, around the arthritis and all this. And that sounds really great if you're having this pain. It's like, well, hey, sign me up. But you have to realize a couple of things. Number one, God designed the body with that lamina there intact. So your body has this structure here for a purpose. Your body's not done by accident. So that lamina adds stability to the spine, protection to the spine, and allows the body to work properly. The other thing you have to realize is that you have to cut through good tissue to get to the bad tissue. So, this is not just like it's out on the surface. They have to cut through to actually remove this tissue to be able to do that. So we don't want to go through good tissue to get to bad tissue. And we also don't want to change the biomechanics too much by removing the structure that is designed to add strength and stability to your spine. So I understand why people do it. It is a surgical procedure that has been out there for some time, but I always advise people, in doing this for 20 years, being around chiropractic for all of my life, is that you want to make sure that you're doing conservative methods first and be aggressive with conservative methods, so that if you know that you are confronted with the possibility of having to have a laminectomy, that you have done absolutely everything possible to see that your body can heal first naturally before you go to a more invasive procedure. So hopefully that gives you a lot of information on what a laminectomy is. And if you have any questions at all and you're in Central Florida, please feel free to reach out to our practice. We do MRI evaluations, we can do second opinions, we can be a sounding board just to make sure that you're making a decision that is full circle 360, and it may be the right decision to do the laminectomy, but at least have a concept that is an alternative to try beforehand. So I'm Dr. Eric Janowitz, and we'll talk to you soon. Thank you.